You think that you need a perfect set of circumstances or a near perfect set of circumstances in order to do something. And the mistake, the fatal mistake that you make is that when you wait for those times, you by definition are telling yourself that when it is not those times, when conditions are not ideal or perfect, that you then have to go back to the old way. And it's a classic setup for you to ride the roller coaster of life that we all ride outside of the office. My name is Brian Pannuzzo. I help financial professionals create real work-life balance, build an elite body and mind, and stay accountable. I know how to do this because I lived your life for 20 years. If I can do it, so can you. If the hundreds of people that I've worked with throughout the last 6 years can do it, so can you. Welcome back to the show. This is the Success Lift podcast. My name is Brian, and if you're on YouTube, this is going to be a good week for you to check out the YouTube version of the podcast, because I guess I'm going to call this the bee sting look. More info on why I look ridiculous coming in a minute or two. I got stung by a bee. I got attacked by a swarm of bees, completely my fault, earlier this week when I was at my son's baseball games, one of his baseball games. I was exercising my right as a male to not go into the porta potty. Sorry, ladies. Sometimes those are the things that you have to do as females. I was exercising my right as a man to go off into the bushes and pee in nature. And I was distracted and I was doing a couple of different things and I wasn't paying attention. And I apparently decided to start relieving myself right next to a swarm of bees. And they weren't too happy that I was infringing upon their territory. And they came at me. They came at me hard. Unfortunately, I take a lot of video. I do a lot of clips and stuff like that for social media. I don't have anyone following me around. That's probably the next stage of my content creation life. But I missed a real opportunity getting this on camera, because this could have been the moment that I finally went viral and made a huge name for myself, because you should have seen what a jackass I must have looked like running away from bees, trying not to pee on myself. That were like literally, they were kind of all over me. And it was for like 20 or 30 yards. Like it wasn't just, I just decided to step away. Anyway, long story short, one of them did get me in the head. If you're not watching on YouTube, like kind of like right above the temple, like where your hairline kind of starts on the side of your head. And it wasn't too bad. It hurt definitely at first. But what you don't know is apparently I have a sensitivity / mild allergy to bee stings, because I got stung about a year ago on my hand, like kind of right in between your thumb and your index finger. And that one hurt like hell. And then it ballooned up on me. My hand looked like it was pretty crazy how much it ballooned up on me. And it was obviously mildly infected, and it lasted for like a week. And, because I'm a rockhead and I don't like to go to the doctor, I didn't do anything about it because it's just your hand, right? But this time, my wife convinced me at the time of this recording yesterday to go get my head checked out, because, and we'll put a picture of what I looked like at my best yesterday. It was pretty gnarly. My head blew up about 18 hours or so after. So when I woke up the next morning, my face was starting to get a little swollen, and then throughout the day it just got worse and worse, and it was really, it was debilitating. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't open up my eye. Certainly couldn't, get on video calls with clients. Couldn't do a whole lot. I was tired. It was definitely something that had me feeling more fatigued than maybe, I normally would have been, and so it was really something that I struggled with for, about 24 hours. And obviously, if you see me right now, I don't look great. I do look like I went, a few rounds with the wrong guy. And I'm wearing glasses right now because I physically can't get I wear contacts. I can't physically get my eye open enough and stay open enough to get a contact in there and have it be comfortable. So we're on the mend. We're on our way back. And I figured, why not talk about this topic? Because I actually did a video for my clients yesterday at the time of this recording and related some things I'm learning from this moment that I'm in right now and what I think you can learn too. And we talked about the ideal conditions and controllables. And so yesterday, again, at the time of this recording, yesterday I slept most of the day. I laid around most of the day. My steps were down. I didn't move very much relative to how much I normally do. I obviously had to cancel a lot of calls. I actually slept through a couple of client calls because I was just napping on and off throughout the whole day. Because like every time I woke up, it was like, only one eye would open. The other one would just stay closed. There was a lot of pressure in my head before I went and got I went to urgent care and got like a shot, a couple of shots for, to reduce the inflammation. And I realized, it hit me where it's like my entire week has now sort of been thrown in the mixer a little bit because there were certain things that I needed to do yesterday that didn't get done in terms of my calendar. And that's aside from, going to the gym and moving my body more and all the stuff that I want to do and I schedule for myself on a daily basis. There were obligations that I had yesterday that just got canceled. They got postponed. I need to find another time to do them. And there was no way around it. And so that's going to back up into the later half of my week. And we're getting away as a family for a couple of days at the back end of, this week, last week now at the time of this recording. And, quickly you realize like because of one moment, right? Because of one decision of me being distracted, not looking around my surroundings before I decided to literally go pee in bushes, at a baseball game. Now my week has been completely thrown off, right? And the mindset around how I felt for moments of time yesterday was the same likely as yours. And I thought that's why this was a helpful reminder for all of us. I immediately was down in the dumps yesterday. I immediately was thinking about, what an unlucky situation for me to be in. Like, did I really deserve to, have this happen to me? Not only look crazy, but feel uncomfortable. And then also like to now be thrown off my schedule. I didn't ask for this. I didn't want this. This was an event that, yes, technically I was in control of because of where I decided to go, but I'm now one for 17,457 times peeing in bushes outdoors where I've been stung by a bee. So the odds are still in my favor that it's not going to happen again, right? And so yes, there was some control on my part as far as it goes relative to this particular situation, but no, it was outside of my control. The bees popping up and stinging my face, attacking me are pretty much outside of my control, right? And it's the events, I say often to my clients, it's the events in our lives that we cannot control that allow us or that actually dictate how we respond, right? And the equation that I love, that I try to jam down my client's throat is E plus R equals O. The events plus the responses ultimately determine our outcomes. And so the tragedy, as I've said before on this podcast, the tragedy that I see so many times from people before they start working with me is that they respond based on the event. The event that is oftentimes outside of their control dictates how they respond. Classically, that shows up in a number of different ways in our personal choices outside of the office because of work stress, because of life stress, because of busyness inside of our lives as husbands, fathers, mothers, wives, where we are truly in control of some of the things that we're letting lapse, but because of our relationship with what's going on outside of aspects of our lives that we lack control, we tend to make poor choices. And so, it was a good reminder for me yesterday that I was still in control of some things. I probably could have moved a little bit more than I did. I usually average 15-ish thousand steps a day. I took about 7,000 or so, and that was literally just moving around the house. I think I got the dog out for an early morning walk before my face really, started to blow up on me. And so that was maybe half of my steps for the day, first thing in the morning. And then after that, it was laying around most of the day. But what I really could control is, number one, my attitude about this. And number two, what I was putting in my mouth. And I ate a lot less because I wasn't awake as much. But when I did eat, I didn't use it as an excuse to, eat poorly. I didn't use it as an excuse to get down in the dumps all day. I was as upbeat as I could be. I was certainly annoyed, and I'm still annoyed, and I'm wearing glasses right now. And I'm not going to go to the gym again today, most likely. But what can I control? And that's what I wanted to talk about this week quickly is ideal conditions and controllables, okay? And if I'm unwilling to show up to the gym, for example, with my specs on, and I don't want people to see my puffy black eye, as you can see, getting a little closer to the camera for you. And I choose to skip the gym because physically I feel fine right now. I certainly don't feel 100%, but I feel fine. Like getting a workout in is not going to massively impact me. But I still may choose to stay home from the gym today because probably don't want to look like this going to the gym. And so what can I do? I fortunately have dumbbells and an exercise bike and a bench, and I'm pointing into the camera because they're actually on the other side of the camera right now. And I'm staring at them, and I put them strategically where they are right now, always, all the time, because when I'm at my desk and I'm working either on my laptop or talking into a camera, it's in my periphery and I can see it. And it reminds me that it's something that's important to me. And so we want to keep these things close to ourselves in our life. It doesn't mean that you need to bring a set of dumbbells into the office, but every once in a while, it's nice to have things around you that are reminders so that you know that you need to take actions. And so controllables for me is, it's not ideal conditions for me today, but I can choose to do a few things. I can choose to get a workout in at home. I can choose to get my steps back up, higher than they were yesterday, closer to maybe my normal set of standards for the day. I certainly and always can control what goes in my mouth. And that's, the thing that I see often with people, especially clients that I speak to who are, I guess not clients yet, before they're clients. Sales calls that I do, calls with friends that I do, calls with ex-coworkers, referrals. People are constantly waiting for conditions to improve. They're constantly waiting for maybe, more money to show up as disposable income because our kids have, we got a rising high school senior, a rising high school junior, and a rising high school freshman. And it's like, well, I'm going to spend $700,000 in the next 8 years on college, and therefore I can't spend any money on myself. Well, I get that. That's a lot of money. But if we really looked at your credit card, how much money are you spending right now that doesn't really align with the things that, are in your best interest long term? I would start right now, but it's the summertime and I have this schedule that's crazy for the next several weeks. I would start right now, but work is nuts and I'm going to be traveling a bunch and it's just not the right time. And we're always waiting for conditions to be perfect. And look, this is not a new message from me, especially if you've been here for 260 plus episodes. I appreciate you. Conditions are never ideal. And when we're waiting for these moments for us to take action, when conditions are ideal, it's like, just good luck, man. You're just going to wait forever, like literally forever and ever and ever and ever. And not only that, because you won't actually wait, it's even worse. You'll find this pocket of time where they do appear to be ideal, because we do have, some moments where things slow down, you feel a little bit more in control, and then you want to actually take action. It's not that you don't want to take action. It's that you think that you need a perfect set of circumstances or a near perfect set of circumstances in order to do something. And the mistake, the fatal mistake that you make is that when you wait for those times, you by definition are telling yourself that when it is not those times, when conditions are not ideal or perfect, that you then have to go back to the old way. And it's a classic setup for you to ride the roller coaster of life that we all ride outside of the office. We allow our professional and our personal schedules, meaning your schedule as a husband and a father, your schedule as a busy professional, to dictate what it is that you do, how you commit, how you show up for yourself as an individual in some of these other areas of your life. And that's the fatal mistake that most people make, is that they wait for a perfect, in air quotes, time to start. And they do get started and they do better for a period of time. Think about those first few weeks of January when everyone is fatigued from holiday season, from holiday parties, from relentless amounts of alcohol that they're consuming and higher calorie foods, desserts, cakes, cookies, pies, whatever. Everyone does want to break from that for a couple of weeks. And so that's why people tend to get off to decent starts in January, and it lasts a couple weeks. And that's also why by the second week or so of January, it's over, because people are now not as fatigued from that behavior of 30 to 45 days. People are now ready to start entertaining again. Clients are ready to start coming out of the office again. We're all done with kind of the first ramp up. Our holidays are, a lot of people take holiday into the first week of January now, depending on when school goes back. And so by the second or third week of January, this stuff gets thrown out the window because you waited for a pocket of time when conditions were either ideal or perfect. And these pockets of time happen throughout our year. They happen late in the summer, oftentimes when, work slows down, we go on our 2-weekers. They happen during, these random breaks here and there, but they never happen for very long. And when you wait for conditions to be ideal in your life in order to start something, you're just setting yourself up to have it fall apart when conditions become normal again. And normal is chaotic. Normal is ever-changing. Normal is curveballs and fires. Normal is frustration. Normal is feeling like you don't have enough time in the day until you learn a strategy and a process and a plan and a structure to do this during your worst weeks. And that, my friends, is the unlock for you to have it all in your life. Learning a process to plan out what you're going to put in your body from a food and alcohol perspective. Know when you're going to get your workouts in. Develop some structure on the front and back ends of your days and your weekends to develop quick mindset tools to be able to go to in your toolbox when things do feel like they're going to freaking blow up on you, because they will on a regular basis. Having a structured plan in place, having someone to talk to when you do need to talk shit out, because we all often need to talk things out. And yes, I just took my 2 thumbs and pointed at myself. But if I'm not your guy, there are thousands of other guys, programs out there for you. If you are a high performer and you are not in a coaching relationship with somebody in some or many aspects of your life, I do not know what the hell you're doing, because you are leaving so much goddamn potential on your plate that it's disgusting. You are a high performer. You need help and support and to be able to talk to somebody, to be able to get expert ideas from somebody, to be able to get a plan that allows you to go faster, easier. Faster and easier. That's what wealthy people, that's what accomplished people, that's what successful people want to do. They want to make things easier. They want to make things faster. Why wouldn't you want to do that? You have to start to control things you can control despite the environment. And so this week, I just wanted to put my glasses on, turn the camera on, let you know that things are not always roses here too. Things are not perfect. I don't have it figured all out. I wake up some days and proverbially and literally look like I get punched in the face. And this is one of those days. This is one of those weeks for me. But I will do what I do. I show up. That is a superpower of mine. You cannot wear me down. I do not allow it. I tell my clients all the time, you will not wear me down. I will do things inside of the program that I run for my individual and my team clients, my executive coaching clients, and I will show up. I will not give in because it's what's separated me my entire life in college basketball, in sports, on Wall Street, and now with this job, with this career. It's what I do best. And so if you ever are in need of assistance in your life, find somebody that'll show up for you because it's contagious, because I'll guilt you into it. I'll drag you along. I'll take you with me. You need to find people in your life that will bring you along with them and who will see the amazing things in you that sometimes you don't believe. There is a version of you. There is a future version of you that will shock the shit out of the current version of you right now. You do not know how capable you are. I need people to tell me that they believe in me. As much as I may exude confidence to people on a video, in a coaching call, I need people to tell me the same thing. And so that's why I pay money for it. And I've paid a lot of money for it. Who do you have in your life that's breathing life into you? That's speaking life into you? That's reminding you that you're great? That's helping you move through the process along the way? You don't have these people, please go find them. I know I'm one of them, but if it ain't me, go find somebody else. I want to remind you that conditions will never be ideal. And if they are ideal, they'll only be ideal for a very short period of time. Every once in a while, we're going to have bee stings on our faces. I hope you don't literally have one like I do, right? Control the controllables. What can you do today, even though conditions are not totally in your favor? There's always something. Find it. That's what we do all day, every day inside of my programs. I appreciate you. I'll see you back here next week, hopefully looking a little bit better than this.